Well, my name is Freeda Cathcart, running for City Council, and I came here to the Roanoke Valley to go to Roanoke College. That's my alma mater. I met my husband there, and I was lucky enough to be able to find a job working for Shadow Life Insurance Company. I love insurance. I know that's a weird thing, but somebody's got to, and that's something I very much enjoyed doing. And while I was there, I earned my FLMI, which is a fellowship in the Life Management Institute. So in my first child, and while I was there, I automated their reinsurance department. And before I worked for them, I also was hired by other corporations to help them be more efficient, more effective. And when my first child was born, I was able to leave working there and stay home and do investments successfully from home and raise my children. So I feel very fortunate. One of the things I've discovered, I had a little job back in the 2000s where a friend of mine had designed a program that Chip of Roanoke Valley invited me to help her design it, and then wanted me to apply for it, even though I wasn't looking for a job because my investments were doing fine. But I did end up working for Chip for a while. It was the sweetest job. I visited families when they got home from the hospital with their newborn babies. And in the process of doing that, I visited families throughout the Roanoke Valley, all different socioeconomic backgrounds. And the blinders came off that other people were not as fortunate as I was. And I very much cared about their plights and what was happening. And so that was part of my path into public service and doing more to volunteer and getting involved. My son just graduated cum laude with a business degree last year from Roanoke College. And I'm concerned about his future. He's got a decent job. He wants to stay in the Roanoke Valley. But if he moves up the company he's in, they'll move him out of Roanoke. And I'm sure that you all are probably concerned about the loss of the high-paying income jobs that has left. So that's one of the things I want to work on City Council, is working to make sure that we retain our talent and our high-paying jobs.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, what my short-term goals are is to bring my skills of efficiency and effectiveness to work for the city, working with the city staff and business owners to create a one-stop shop. I've talked with business owners that get discouraged and frustrated when they have to fill out the same information for the different departments because the databases don't talk to each other. In 2016, that's inexcusable. We need to have efficiency there. We need our business owners concentrating on growing their businesses. And most of it should be able to be done online. For a mom and pop shop business, they would have to lock the door and go downtown to fill out paperwork. And one business owner spent an entire day doing that. So that's something I want to work on immediately. Another thing is working regionally in cooperation to fix our transportation system, our public transportation system. It needs to be more accessible and useful. And that's something I think would help with disposable income so that people could afford to buy homes. I think that's really important and create stability in our economy. Part of my experience that I bring to the table for City Council is my background in conflict resolution. And at the root of conflict resolution is being a good listener. You have 2 ears for a reason. And when you listen to people and you are able to identify what is at the root of what their concern is without defensiveness, then you can start to create a situation where people are actually identifying ways that we can work together cooperatively and collaboratively. And if somebody's not listening, then there's a barrier that's created there. So when you do conflict resolution, it's important to be the liaison where you're listening to both sides. And that's something I can bring to City Council. One of the ideas I have that I would encourage the other council people to do is to go out into the neighborhoods and to meet with different groups and have town halls so that we can listen to what's going on. A lot of people don't have the time and also might not feel comfortable going down to City Council where they're on TV and on mic when they have an issue. But if we come out to them, they might feel more comfortable and share, and we can listen to them and then work on solving the problems that we have. Oh, the job losses, okay. Yeah, I thought that was a really poor decision on Norfolk and Southern to leave, and was very disappointed with Advanced Auto. I was not surprised to hear later that Norfolk and Southern is having multiple problems. Leaving Roanoke to move their employees to a place that has flooding issues as well as traffic concerns, it was a poor corporate leadership. When corporations make poor decisions, there's not all that much that we can do except to point out what we have to offer. And we have a lot to offer here in Roanoke. And my focus on my campaign is supporting local businesses, because that's where I think the real answer is going to be supporting our local businesses, making it as easy as possible for the businesses to grow and keep them investing in here. And part of that is building a healthy relationship. And part of that is having to do with when there's disagreements that come up, of addressing them in a helpful, cooperative manner so that everybody will thrive and prosper. Thank you. This is something I've been concerned about and curious about for a while, as far as if that is a beneficial policy to have for the public's interest. I guess one thing I would look at would be, depending on where the property is and what's happening, if that would be worth it, if somebody could come and do something constructive with it. I would like to see there be more public dialogue and discussion and get their ideas if that's something that's accessible. Often my family does a yard sale and we let things go really cheap because we just want to move them out. But I would want to see my husband do that with my car or a dining room table. There's certain things that you want to have a discussion about and what you're going to do. And I feel that the public has been left out of these discussions and involvement. And when we own property, then we own it, and we deserve to have that looked at. And if they say we're going to have a discussion about this property and nobody shows up, and they have somebody that comes along who wants to do something constructive with it, then all right. But I want to have a discussion first and see who shows up and what ideas they have, and see what the public wants to do with that. So that's where I'm. I'm very concerned about this issue. The last couple of years, our home's value in Roanoke City has decreased, which means I'm paying less taxes to Roanoke City, but I'm not happy about it because my value of my home's gone down. I'm a real estate investor too. I own shares in a corporation up in Florida. We built a village as well as a farm up there. The land values up there has gone up fivefold. So the rates stayed the same up there, but I'm paying more in taxes, but there's more value there. So I'm all right with that. I also own part of a farm up in Shenandoah County that grows hops. To me, I was raised this way. I'm a fiscal conservative. Debt is a four-letter word. I have no debt at all. Car, home, credit card, nada. I can't say I've never had any debt, but as soon as I can, I pay it off. I'm for growth. And that's one of the things I want to concentrate on City Council is growth. And that has to do with supporting our businesses so that they can grow. So if we get more revenue, it's going to be through growth, and that's going to be my focus. This goes back to my theme of efficiency and effectiveness, that there shouldn't be a bureaucracy that holds growth up. We need to streamline it. We need to work together to figure out how that's going to be. Everybody's going to need to be involved as a teamwork to do that. When it comes to the coordination of the departments, they don't talk to each other. Even within the permitting, when I was talking to a lady the other day who had, they had her building permit there and they were starting work, and the electrician came by and was trying to get them to stop work on it. Well, that costs everybody money. It messes her up, and then the contractor loses money. So we need to have a better working city for the people and the businesses of Roanoke. You all deserve it. And that's what I'll work for on City Council, is to make sure that you are being served well. And I'm not going to wait for you all to come to me. I'm going to be going to you and saying, what's going on? What have you noticed? How can we work together to figure out what's happening? Did you have a positive experience? You know, part of this has to do with finding out how did that go and learning how to do it better. So that's something I want to bring to the table. Well, I have a proven record of success when it comes to working with groups of people. One is the Roanoke Co-op back in the 1990s. Before I got involved, I was just a member. I was called to an emergency meeting where half the board had resigned. They'd gone $300,000 in debt and they were on the verge of bankruptcy. I worked with a team of people to turn that around so that we paid back the debt, created a profit sharing plan with the employees, and as you've seen, the co-op has grown substantially from that time. It used to be across the street in a little tiny store, and it's doing very well successfully. Another experience that I'll highlight is my work in advocacy for the midwives in Virginia. I brought together a coalition of pro-choice and pro-life activists that worked together to get legislation passed. When it passed unanimously in the Senate and almost unanimously in the House of Delegates. And that's because we found something that we all agreed on that would be for benefit for our Commonwealth. Since then, hundreds of women-owned small businesses have been created in Virginia. And so I have experience when it comes to helping build businesses and when it comes to growth. Okay, first of all, there's no legal definition of sanctuary city. So I want to make sure everybody understands that. And depending on who you're talking to, like people who advocate and protect people from sex trafficking or sex slavery, which I serve on the domestic violence board at TAP, that has a different meaning than criminals not being, police not working with it. So as far as that goes, I want to talk about where I stand on this, and from what my understanding is. First of all, Roanoke has a low crime rate. The system's not broke. Don't fix it. I think we can make it even lower, and that's the best way to prevent criminals from coming here. I'm the only candidate that was invited and went to the Virginia Western roundtable discussion that they had with federal, state, and local law enforcement. And the good news is everybody's working together great. They're creating these fusion centers to help us learn how to share information. I went there as a community leader to learn how we can work with them. So I pledge to you to keep working with our law enforcement, making Roanoke as safe as can possibly be. And I'm going to need y'all's help. It's going to take teamwork. We need to keep working together. And so I'm the president of the Grandin Court Neighborhood Association. It had dissipated last year, and so I revived it this past fall. I was elected to be the president. Back in the 2000s, I was the president for 6 years until I was turned out of office. The first thing on our agenda that we're doing this year is reviewing and updating our neighborhood plan. That is so important to do. And then making sure that the zoning matches that plan, and if it doesn't match that plan, advocating to get the zoning to match that plan. But once something is zoned and in private hands, then they can move forward with doing something. It's happening to our neighborhood right now, where Curlian bought the Shenandoah Life property. They're getting ready to develop all those acres, and there are people who are upset in our neighborhood. I checked the zoning. It's zoned mixed use. So I told them the best that we can do at this point is to give feedback to Curlian as far as what type of buffers we might want and to try and work with them before they go into the planning stage, because that's where we are right now. Back in the 2000s, when I was the president of the Grandin Court Neighborhood Association, I also served on the President's Council, which was made up of all the presidents of the neighborhoods. And one of the things that we discovered is when there was a code enforcement issue or a problem tenant, they would leave one neighborhood and go to another neighborhood, and the problem would start up again. And it's almost like parents. It's like we talk to each other. So we created the Safe City Task Force because we felt the city wasn't doing their job when it came to code enforcement and protecting the people's interests. So we started doing walks through the neighborhoods and educating people about code enforcement and how to work with each other to bring things up to code. I think that's really important to do. I think there has been improvement in that area from when it was. I think Chief Perkins has done a good job with that. I haven't heard otherwise, so if there's other issues out there, I'm open to hearing about what is happening now. Because if there are problems, I think we need to address it, but we need to be proactive with this.